All right, so a little bit behind. I will be real with you. Clip that in. All right, I got my water beside me. I got a Coke in case I need extra energy. And here we are. Hello, everyone. Wait, what happened to... Where's the me? Hang on.
Did you see it?
Hi, Hendrix. Gun. Where is my character? Why is he not, like, here on the mole? There he is. Hello there. Cookie! Cookie for Hendrix. Alrighty then. So, what is going on in today's life? I can't hear myself. That's the first thought in my head. Lower that. Doesn't do anything. Oh, it's because I turned off exclusivity mode. Oh. Nope, that's not doing it for me, apparently. Why can't... Okay, I can mute myself. Why is Loneliest Girl... Why is this song, like, with such volume in my head? Okay, I can pause there and hit play. Oh, I can adjust the volume here. Yeah, we'll make it like 50% or something like that. And so Furry Cures was the last person who, like, put in a song after Jason and Internet Friend. And The Loneliest Girl is apparently what we're listening to, thanks to them. Was getting ready for sleeps. Ah, okay, fair enough, Hendrix. Fair enough-sies. Oh my goodness, what is with this? The song is going a lot harder than it needs to, Jesus. Alright, let's put it down to like 30. My goodness, that is like blaring in my ears. Also, is my thingy-majiggy... Okay, no, it... Alright, some reason Moobot just does not want to listen to how I want to do the thingy-majiggy. Like, if I right-click this and go to Volume Mixer... Okay, so Moobot is there. So if I go, like, halfway, it changes the volume, but it doesn't change, like, any of the app volumes for whatever reason. Weird. Oh, no, there's way more songs. This is... Oh, I see how this is doing it. I see how this widget does its biz. I see exactly how this widget does its business. Alrighty, I see exactly how it does it. Show song request. Alright, so we have Blender shit to do. Who we got in here? We got Hendrix, who's going on their little sleeps. Ow!
Jason with the 20-month tier 1 sub.
Thank
Hello.
you, Jason. Hi, hello there. Thank you for the 20-month sub. I hope you're doing all right. Hope you had a nice break. All right, so we got Jason. We got John Does Overtime, who's just like lurking with the what looks to be an orc of some sort. And JCat was in the thingy-majiggy first. I need a song request because let me double check what the primary. There's So next up is Lay It All On Me by Furry Cures, and then the Mighty Switch Force. I have no clue what the Mighty Switch Force is, thanks to Internet Friend. So, you're doing good, and me? I'm doing fairly okay. I'm still, like, I don't know why this is, like, hitting my brain so hard, but I'm still reeling from the fact that, you know, I went into Final Fantasy 16 and it wasn't to what I was expecting. Like, I don't know. I'm really not feeling like going back into it just yet, like, as a streaming game or anything like that. Like, I feel like it would probably be, like, a personal grind trying to get through it just for the sake of, like, oh, I wonder what the story is or some shit like that. Because, like, so far, like, it doesn't... It's not really wowing me. It's not, like, you know... It's not making me engage with the gameplay. Like, I'm willing to engage with, like, you know, the story, but, like, you know, it feels like, you know, going into The Last of Us or something, where it's like, I could probably get away with just watching gameplay footage of The Last of Us rather than, you know, playing The Last of Us. You don't mind it? Yeah, that's okay. Like, I know some people, you know, didn't mind, like, you know, the whole me being relaxy and all that kind of such. Like, I very lock your blender bar. What are you on about? There is no blender bar. Hang on a sec. That reminds me. I need to, okay, close that window so you can't see my name or any of that shit. File. All right. Bam. Cool. That is working. We're going to keep the... I'm going to shrink. I'm going to have this thing zoom out just a little bit. Eee! Where is the game mode? Camera zoom. All right. Is there any way to make this...
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. What did I miss?
Did you see it?
No. I love how I can tell it to be like 120. Let's go 90 frames a second. It's telling me current frame rate 166. It's like, cool. Can you go smaller, please? But it won't do that. Alrighty. So yeah, you've been watching Bleach. Ooh. Ooh. Are you getting through Bleach before they do more of the 1,000-year blood war? Is that what got you into Bleach again? They've been doing all the like the 1,000-year blood stuff, and you're like, oh, I wanna catch up on this. I wanna know how Ichigo got his Bankai. That's the idea. Valid idea. Hi there, Flew the Kenku. Alrighty, chat. I need song requests. We're down to like, I think our second. We're down to our last song before we get hit with lo-fi stuff, which would, you know, be very heavies on the brain to like, you know, shut down chat and just like stare at this, you know, this blank void of a thingamajiggy. You'd pick one, but you're welcome to recommend, like, exclamation point SR. Like, observe as I do that magic. Hang on a second. YouTube. And then, what's one of the songs that I have been listening to that I've actually been having such an enjoyment with? Oh, here it is. I don't know what it is about this particular song, but I fuck with it. No thanks. All right, pause that. And then I go song request, paste. Hopefully that link works. Yes, it does. Awesome. Brave Chase the Wind. The Disney... Oh, I didn't realize that it would do, you know, search results. That's amazing. Oh my goodness, people are just such experts compared to me. The games that outsold the Halo franchise and killed a man. Manly review. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna add that to my watch later, along with the Skyblivion, Warhammer Tyranids, A Little Dark Age. Definitely gonna watch that. Alrighty, move you aside. We gotta make something, and I feel like the first thing I want to make is something really easy. I want to make a Pringles can. Oh, I reinstalled Blender, so some of the preferences are not working to the way I want them to. Hang on a second. I gotta fix that. First things first. Scale up just a little bit, so then that way you guys can see what the F I'm doing. 25% should be enough. And then... yep, show the splash screen. Cookie for that boy! That boy. Nothing about viewport. Keep it to 75. Viewport anti-aliasing. Let's just do a single pass of anti-aliasing. Nothing on the lighting. Editing. Where's the thingy-majiggy for, you know, when I hit the tab, it does the thing I want? Navigation. All right, so, yep, turntable. Automatic perspective. Zoom, dolly. Where is it? Key map. Here we go. Selecting with the mouse button is a left. Pressing space does play. Gizmo event is a drag. Middle mouse button is the orbit. Where's... Hang on. Metaball. Toggle edibility. Okay, so... Damn it, where is it? Menus. Open menus and pullovers automatically when the mouse is hovering. No, that's not. Because tabbing just does that, and then... Yeah, so that's not what I want. Gosh, how did I do this before? Selection, GPU depth, thingamadiggy, subdiv... Oh yeah, systems, that reminds me. CUDA. That way it will do its thingamadiggy. Make this installation, yeah, that's fine. Uninstall steps. Give me 100. You are really easy. Nice work, Kiaru. Wait, are you a Pringles can, Kiaru? Is that why? Never mind. Any whoosies. There's a limit to how many songs you can apply. It's like 2 in the what's a whoosie thing. Oh, this is my song. Dun, 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 dun. Long to feel. Gardens open wide. The fires. Oh, pi on... Is it pi on drag? Yes, it is. There we go. That's what we want. All right. Note to self. Pi on drag is what I want. So it causes it to open... Oh, wait. No. Not pi on drag. Just tab for pi menu. There we go. Now that's immediate. All right. That's what I was expecting. Cool. Close this. And now... Ow! Ow! Vol!
Vol _Pecula paid me to say la 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 Zeep song. La 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 Zeep song.
Why didn't the video play?
La 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 Zeep song. La
La la la la Zeep song. La 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 la
Zeep song. La
Let me
la
try
la
that
la
again.
Zeep song. La 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 Zeep song. La 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 Zeep song.
There we go. That did it what I want. Hi there, Vol. Welcome to the stream. We're doing song requests if you want. Alrighty, so keep the Pringles at the... Shine your light on me. Oh, I'm gonna raise the volume on this. Hang on a second. Alright, so first and foremost, break me down and watch this world for me.
Syra, you paid me to say chase the wind, touch this gooey.
Ting. All my life just waiting for you to shine.
Did you see it?
Shine a light on me. Alrighty, Cookie for Vol. How's it going, by the by? Can you have the... No, you can't have the Pringles. I'm just making the Pringles can, okay? Also, I have no sense of measurement. Alright. How wide is this? Okay, so we're making a big Pringles can. What is the dimensions of a Pringles can? Hang on. Pringles can dimensions. The Pringles can is 8.5 centimeters high by 8 wide. No. Oh, that's for the mini Pringles chips. No, I just want the can. Oh, tube. Maybe it's tube. Pringles tube. Dimensions of stuff. Here we go. You got the day off work? Hey, nice work. Nice work. Glad that you're able to do art. Wait, do you stream? Vol, do you stream? I've seen you in other people's chats. I just thought you were like a regular or something. Do you stream? My brain just like Pringles can dimension, big brain, Borzoi snoot dimension, and that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking if Vol streams. All right, hang on. What are the dimensions of a Pringle? No, don't play the advertisement. Of a standard... Okay, so it's... So 8 centimeters and then 25.5. You don't stream. Ah, okay. Borzoi snoots are infinite. They're not infinite. Don't listen to any of those dogs, okay? They're not infinite snooters, okay? They're like 25.5. Actually, hang on a second. BORZOI snoot length 12.2 inches. Wait, unless they're talking about... Are they talking about, like, a specific one? Okay, so Eris the Borzoi Wolfhound has an extremely long 12.2. Okay. Jesus Christ. Also, it has a little bit of an overbite, which is funny.
Vol_Pecula paid me to say, didn't I do it for you? Didn't I do it for you? Didn't I do it for you?
Alrighty, so, first things first, I need to alter my dimensions. Units, there we go. So, centimeters. .01. Alright. 0.1. Alright, that way that makes it like 19 centimeters, so we just need to make it half that length then. So... So yeah, so that's...
Syra, you paid me to say, let me do it for you. Didn't I do it for
do
you?
it for
Curly
you.
AI.
Boom. Oh my gosh, we're getting to the Brave song now. Ugh. You know, if Disney ever watches my streams because I'm the greatest Himbo zebra, you're going to be the reason why I'm in trouble. All right, so hang on. So that would be 2018, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yeah, each of these squares is like 1 centimeter then. Also, what was this guy's recommendation? Like, no. So, ding. So, yep, that's about, like, you know, what's Mahoozies. All right, now we go, how high did they want? Like, 20-something? Alrighty. So, about 30 centimeters. 25 and a half. Okay, so... There we go. 26 centimeters. And then... Alright, do the ruler. Oh my goodness. Why must I listen to this? Alright, is there... Yeah, there is. Alright, hang on. I need to...
Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Oh, and look at this. I got a fucking advertisement at the end of my, listening to the fucking What's Moozy. What the fuck? Boy! Boy! What the hell did you have me listen to? All right, hang on. Blacklisting that song. I won't give you the 24-hour recommendation ban.
Did you see it?
Just
Did you
be
see
mindful of lyrics. So we're blacklisting that song. Could not add the item as the max unallow of being reached. Feel free to unlock more. What? I don't want to save the... Oh my god, what is with the... Skip this song. Simple Plan Can't Get My Hands Off You featuring a cover from Matt from Sketch 21. Disney recommended it, but don't blame me. I won't blame you, Kiaru. Alright, Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty, so these big ones are 10, 20. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then insert. .5 centimeters should be an okay height. And then I scale that by... Ow! Oh, what I should have done is extrude here again. Insert... Damn it.
Hello!
I am really not doing... Hi there, Furry Cure. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Alrighty, here we go. Hello, Grint. Hello. Alright, so we gotta extrude... God damn it, I've been trying to extrude this like so many times. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then... I. And then I. To extrude this by... like... half a centimeter. And then I need to grab this ring and scale. Why won't you? Alt E, extrude faces on normal. There we go. And 0.25. There we go. And then we grab... You're a Sims 3 player, I see. Hey, that's not true. What blasphemy is that? I have not played any of the Sims games. Alright. I believe what I need to select next is... Oh, wait, no, hang on. What I can do is I can just go... extrude down to the Z. Z. And there we go. Oh, wait. Who added The Sims 2? Simlish Mamadou. What in the world is Simlish Mamadou? 73K is not enough views? Wait, what? Oh, it's probably you're probably doing like you're just doing the song request like via search. You probably need to get like the actual song, copy the link and paste the link. Don't worry. You won't get moderated or banned by like any robot by trying to paste in a YouTube link directly. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've not like restricted the requests to being, that high of a request. Like, let's see, maximum 50, that's fine. Filters. Minimum time followed, not done any of that. Maximum requests in queue is 3. The maximum length of a song is 420 seconds. The minimum amount of views is only 1,700. No lewd songs, please. I don't want to have to, like, deal with moderation. So what that boy decided to, like, put into the playlist and such, there wasn't anything, like, explicitly wrong with the title, but the opening lyrics were very extra sus, and it just went, like, I don't care. I know everyone is so interested in, like, the song of, like, the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, legalize nuclear bombs. I just shoved a nuke up my pussy. Like, that is a TikTok funny. I'm not going to be listening to, like, that phrase, like, the entire... Maybe I'll listen to the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, like, if it's a cool bop or such. But as far as I know, that's the only cool thing about the dubstep song is, like, Shadow Wizard Money Gang, we love casting spells. Merp for 1 hour. Yeah, I'm not... 420 seconds. Do you know how many seconds are in an hour? 3,600 seconds. You cannot throw hour-long things in here, because here's the other thought as well. Everyone else will want to try and recommend songs. Meanwhile, there's like an hour-long song. Sure, I can skip all these things. Wow, we can do math. That's just a number that I've had to, like, utilize a lot of times. Like, when I wanted to create a, that's just a number I've had to remember when using, like, when doing the whole timer thingamadiggy in StreamerBot. All right, we've made our Pringles can. We can probably, like, tone this. Alrighty. What happens if we shade this smooth? Shade smooth. Yeah, this is gonna be... all right, so what we need to do is... I need to grab these things here. Edge crease. Oh, no, not edge crease. Mark as sharp. So then that way... Cookie for that boy! Legalize nuclear bombs.
Did you see it?
Did I see what? Last Fruipy Noop? What in the world is Fruipy Noop? Who is Fruipy Noop? Hallelujah? Okay. Hopefully. I don't want any I don't want any trouble giving you guys these like allowance. All right. Click here. That should be enough of a rim, I feel. What am I listening to? Hi there, Dip. Welcome to the stream. You're making grabby hands, I can see. You're gonna be jealous when I do this. Boom. Oh, hands. Bing, bing, boom, boom, boom. Alrighty. Actually, color me curious. How close is... Oh. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Hang on a second. Edit mode. All right, hang on. We need to do this all the fuck over again. Oh, Jesus. We went too far. First off, create a new collection. Pringles can. Second thing. Shift A, mesh, cylinder. Let's 8, 16, 24. Yep, 24 should be a nice round thingy-madiggy. It hits all the quadrants, and then it's a... All right, so the radius is 8 centimeters, and the depth is 25 centimeters. And there is no cap fill, so it's perfectly hollow. And then we go... Alrighty, so... Alt-E, extrude along normals. So we do the inside, like so. And that's going to be negative 0.5 centimeters. So then that way it's a nice, like, thin thingy-madiggy. There is a Christmas song here in the UK that uses the F slur. It's rather funny. Why do I feel like I don't know this F slur? Want to hear some Christmas rock? Nope. Could not find the given song. GrantZeebs themes. I don't have a theme song. Don't be ridiculous. I don't have a theme song. All right. All right. What is the next thing? Yes, I did see it. I think I saw it. All right.
Did you see it?
All right, let's see. Will this do what I want it to do? All right, so we're gonna extrude this. Negative 1 centimeter. Also, I'm gonna 0.1. There we go. That way we're able to do like all this. All right. Oh no, I fucked up. Radius isn't the diameter. Ah. Okay, hang on a sec. Control A, scale. 0.5. So that should shrink. All right. What am I listening to? Is this Simulish? Oh, it's Katy Perry's Last Night, but it's in the style of The Sims. Also, how do I... Someone told me how to do this. I have forgotten how to do this. How do I... Okay, wait, hang on. Hover over this. X to remove active ruler. There we go. Oh my... All right. I can't take this seriously. I can still hear the OG lyric. That sounds like a problem. That boy... I feel like if you're hearing Last Friday Night while listening to the song... This feels like a reverse aneurysm or something like that, or a reverse stroke, where it's like, oh yeah, like somehow you're just interpreting gibberish, and you're now magically able to hear it. Oh my gosh! All right. Alt E along normals. All right, so that will do negative 0.1 centimeters. And then we'll do this. Extrude negative 0.5 centimeters. Wait, hang on. What's that length? 1 centimeter. Half a okay, hang on.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
There we go. And then... And I made that 0.1. So... I can still hear the OG lyrics. It translates in your brain. That sounds like a problem. Alrighty. And then we're gonna... All right, I'm gonna be fair. I'm not going to do a thank God it's Fruipy. Don't you dare call Fridays Fruipy. Oh, I like this. All right, hang on. I'm trying to be really precise here. Oh my gosh. All right. 0.99. Fuck it. We're going to make it... Alrighty, so... And then, is this orientated the right way? Yep, it is. So then... UV, or no, edges, or no, mesh, normals, flip. There we go. There we go. Alrighty then. We got ourselves a Pringles can. Alrighty, so there's our Pringles can. Edit, hang on. All right, that should mark as sharp. And then mark these as... What? Kiaru, what did you throw to me? I'm gonna skip this. That's like background thingy-majiggy and... boom, boom. Oh. Boom, boom. Boom. Object mode. Shade, auto smooth, 30 degrees. There we go. So there's our Pringles can. All right. Day and night. It's just because she's British. No, it's because you didn't get me an actual song. You got me like behind the scenes like B-roll of someone recording a song. This one I'm gonna like accept as being funny because it's like, you know, it's these guys are really going hard at, you know, singing, you know, day and night. All right. Aluminum. Wait, no. Hang on. How do I spell aluminum? Aluminum. There we go. Aluminum. Actually, I wonder how much of chat is upset. Move you down a bit. How upset is chat with my spelling of aluminum? It has an I. Aluminium. Aluminum. Just sounds right. Hi, Avalon. Welcome to the stream, Avalon. I am making a Pringles can. Song requests are open as well if you want to, like, you know, throw something in there. Any whoosies. Edit mode. Grab my faces. Grab all this. Grab all this. And grab this. And grab this. We're assigning the aluminum to that. It's, yep, 0.8 gray. That's fine. We're going to make it relatively metallic and thingy. And then we are going to do red banding. And this is just going to, you know, be a real deep red. No blues allowed. Heavy on the roughness. Low on the spec 0.2. So then that way we assign it to the red here. Hello there. Aluminum. Yes, that is the...
Did you see it?
Aluminum is nothing. How do people spell? I don't know. I just want to...
Did you see it?
Why is... What does it... What do you mean? What is going on? Pringle cans are No, they have a little bit of aluminum on them. Like, there's like a thingy. Like, yeah, most of it is like the innards are like plastic, but like the little like rim, these things. Okay, maybe not the inside. Maybe the inside is... Give me a second. All right, fine. We're doing a new... So, cardboard. And then... eyeballing this right now. There we go. Edit. There we go. Cardboard. You happy? But then you have like the little like aluminum thingy-majiggy. You don't say sodium or potassium. Aluminum. Like, it just rolls off the tongue, okay? Aluminum. Not aluminium. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, chat. For Australians being as lazy as they are with their accent, they're very particular about aluminum. Yet they call us like Americans like, oh, they're just saying it wrong. And it's like, what? Brodium. Dun, 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 dun. What am I listening to? Oh, it's another like real song, and you're torturing me in fucking Simlish. Oh my. Oh, this is... You're torturing me. Ah! Nothing sweet about me. Ah! This is an Australian. It's hurting me. Oh. Also, what do you? Why are you all talking about elements? And you're like, I spell aluminum correctly. Any whoosies. I need a sticker on the thingamadiggies. Hang on. UV editing. UV, smart UV project, 66%. No, that's not what I want. All right, hang on. Dink, nope. Line. There we go. Mark as a seam. Mark as a seam. Oh, this hurts my head. What are you doing to me, chat?
Did you see it?
Mark as a seam. There we go. All right, hopefully this is the right way as I make a new Pringles can dot albedo, and the color will be just a really strong red. There we go. And then I know this song. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind? Wait. What is going on? What are you doing to me, chat? What are you doing to me? What is this? Why are you ruining songs for me? What was the past song and why was it in It wasn't in French. Avalon, you don't understand. They've been throwing Sims songs at me, like so many popular songs, and they're just put into Sims, so they're just having a fucking stroke, but you could understand the lyrics a little bit. Now they've given me plastic this is supposed to be Firework by Katy Perry, but instead, I'm just hearing her say plastic bag over and over again. That's not what I want. Oh, the point of the sound request. Ah! Ah! I'll send it to you in Telegram what I got previously. Hang on a sec. Oh my gosh. It will only show me like the last 3 songs. I want to add the OG to my liked Lemao. Sweet About Me. Nothing. No, don't give me another Simlish. Ah! Just... You guys fucking torture me. Ding, Pringles can, Control T. Oh, if you ever save, asset library, Pringle. It was way too tempting to Pringles can save. If you ever want to do what's Mahoozy, like all this node stuff, and you want to have these squares, I had to pay for this plugin, mind you, but it's a worthwhile payment. It's called Node Preview. It's fantastic. What is this? Why have I heard this before?
Did you see it?
This isn't unknown to me. This is unlocking a memory. What is this? Lloyd Tuma Levin Polka live from 1990. What? You guys. Me, thank you. That's why. Thank you, John. It's because it's from the fucking Miku song. I'm used to it being like fucking night chord up the wazoo. All right. Texture paint. Okay, so it's down here at the bottom right then. Actually, Control A, UV. There was a way I did this before. Image. There was a way I was able to export the UV. So then that way it was easier to do what I wanted in the... Oh my gosh. How I accomplish... Export UV layout. Okay. Textures. Pringles can. UV. Just so then that way, export the UV. There we go. And then... File, save. File, external data, unpack. Files, asset library. Image, save as, pringlescan.albedo, yes. Oh, hang on a second. External data, pack, unpack. There we go. All right. Open with Photoshop. Thank you, internet friend. It was in the UV thingamadiggy, like you said. All right. I'm making a Pringles can. All right, I don't know who's using the modern Pringles from 2021, but it's shit. We're gonna go with an OG. We're gonna go with a classic. Why is there so many advertisements? There we go. All right, shrink you down to here. Save, place. I just heard what this. Yes, they were. All right. Now, how bad does it work on? That bothers me. All right, we're gonna fix this. Hang on a second. Just make it simple, and then save, and then. There we go. That's better. Hi there, Mark. How do I... All right, also, hang on. Back into Blender, because UV editing, UV, export UV layout, just so I can see what I am doing between... And then move you over to here, grab the textures, grab the cans UV thingy-majiggy, there we go, apply. Opacity, we're just gonna make it like a light 15%, so then that way I can at least see where this thing is going, and then the fact that I need to shrink this. Oh, god damn it, this is another... I want fucking, just give me a non-simlish song, please. Enough of this meme shit. You've been giving me big classics, and I'm getting hit with fucking Simlish. Clip my pain, please. I can't handle Simlish. Ah! Why must I suffer? All right, we're gonna make it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 should be okay because 8 should be like a corner because it goes 8, 16, 24. Yeah. Okay. So he's a third of the can. So now if I go to here, image, reload. There we go. Ooh. Oh. Oh, I have an idea. Hang on. What's the Pringles font called? Bogota and Myriad. Let's have a look. Bogota. And then Myriad. All right, hang on. Do I have Myriad? I have an idea. All right, hang on. Myriad regular. It's not Comic Sans. Don't be ridiculous. All right, what's the dog called? What's the dog called? The that's Russia Ukraine stuff. Pringles can dog. Borzoi. Okay. B Borzoi. Okay, hang on. They can't be all caps. They have to... There we go. All right, and then... What am I... You really want me to suffer, don't you? All right, and then... Rasterize type. No, I need to grab... I need to, like, be able to grab both. I need to like somehow... How do they do it? How do they do like the text on a curve?
The simplest way to do this is to go down to the shapes and get yourself a circle. You want to get yourself
You butcher aluminum, but you respect lorem ipsum.
To get yourself a nice
yeah.
even circle. Now, in order for this to work, it must be a shape, otherwise you won't be able to do it. So as you can see, because we've created a shape, we can easily go to the text tool. When we hover over the shape, you'll notice...
Oh, okay, hang on. Hide that. Okay, I was worried what the lyrics was gonna say. All right, Oh, Jesus, that was very...
a shape, otherwise you won't be able to do it. So as you can see, because we've created a shape, we can easily go to the text tool.
Ah, okay, so... Borzoi.
When we hover over the shape, you'll notice you have two options. You'll have a circle and you'll have a squiggly line or curved line. This one is to write inside the shape, and then the second one is to write on the actual path itself.
Close my
So
tabs.
if we left click, as you can see, we've got ourselves some text. This is how. Now let's say you wanted it on the inside rather than on the outside. As you can see, right on the actual path itself. So if we
Hang on, I need
click, as you can see, we've got ourselves some text.
Okay, so that's how it... Wait, what's
Did you
going
see
on
it?
with my...
Did you see it?
I don't see it. Alright, I'm just gonna... Yeah, that's not long enough. What is this? Why doesn't this go further? I need it going like the entire length, but it's not. Eee. Why isn't it going the full length? Eee. Get wrecked? Oh, thanks. Okay, so why... Is there a way for me to, like, subdivide the points? What do you have me listening to, honestly? Why can't I ever just get, you know... Oh. Alright. Nope, that doesn't... Why is it... There we go. BORZOI. You guys have to suffer with this as well. I hope you understand, like, the trouble you are causing me. Alrighty, and then we're gonna copy this image just so then that way I have an opportunity. Finally, a normal song. Wait, no, this is from, I remember this. I remember this was from, I watched this on the, back when there was a React channel, the Fine Bros or whatever the fuck his name is. This is from, what's Mahuzi? This is from Eurovision, isn't it? This is from Eurovision. Am I right? When the UK won. Awesome. Wait, isn't ABBA the UK or are they someone else? Is 3D Blender Art Fight though? No, I'm not taking part in Art Fight right now. The invite was not sent to me. Rusticize their layer. There we go. And then... Okay, why is it just having such a hard time? All right, here's what I'm going to do just to... This is gonna work. Just give me a minute. Observe the fucking magic of me just fixing shit. Because rather than try and, like, recover... You would never know. You would never know I took away, like, his outline or anything like that. Borzo! Also, I'm gonna need to put in a tagline. Needs to go around about down here. Not that big. Let me do it for you. There we go. Copy layer style. Paste layer style. Let me do it for you. Borzoi, didn't we do it for you? Oh, yep. All right, let's go with that one then. Didn't we do it for you? Do we have the question mark or do we leave the question mark? Hi there, Bookie. Hi, I'm making a Pringles can for Borzoi. I'm gonna give this to like a particular Borzoi as well, and I hope they appreciate the gift. Do we put a question mark in there, Kiaru? You remember when the Fine Bros made my music, which was 10 years ago? Jesus Christ. Can I get some Pringles? No Pringles for you. Didn't we do it for you? You know what? I think it would be good to have the question mark in there. And then we'll have it like a little bit... Okay, exclamation point. All right, we'll go with an exclamation point. Didn't we do it for you? Ding. Health info Pringles tube. Information. Save image as. Save. This is actually a banger of a song. All right, that's a bit too big, so we're going to shrink this down. Borzoi, didn't we do it for you? And then you got like the little information on the back. All right, excellent. Nice work. File. Actually, I'll throw you to the right there. I have an idea. So, yep, so that's albedo colored for the thingamadoogies. We're going to image texture, the albedo. Copy. So slot 1, paste. Slot 3, paste. All right. Here's what's going to happen. Layout. Ding. Is it on? No, we need to go to cycles. And then on the bake, we bake the diffuse with none of the direct or indirects. We only do the color. And it's going into the image. All right, let's see how it looks. Oh my god, not another Simulish. Don't go away, Bookie. Like, we're doing some important shit right here. All right, ding dong. So this is what it looks like right now. And bake. Oh, this is going to be hitting the CPU just a little bit. Image All right, so that should be that. So now, if we... This is what I have to deal with, Bookie, is like popular songs all of a sudden being turned into like fucking weird branding nonsense. There we go. That way, rather than having like 3 different materials for what we want to do, we just have the one. It gets the point across. All right, file. Open. I need to open the Pringles can in like this thingamadiggy. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just getting all the things I did in this PSD and putting it on top of this thing. Just so then that way, like, you know, I have all that. Is there a way for me to... No. This. There we go. Pringles. Color. That way I'm able to get rid of this, and then... using also no hardness, please. There we go. So now if we turn this on, where's our... Oh. I knew I was forgetting something. There we go. And then... There we go. That way it's on the center line here, and then there we go. File. Oh my god, another simulation. Why do you do this to me, chat? This marks the 3rd song you've heard the original before the Simlish version. Well, at least these are the songs you heard originally, and you're not just like getting hit hard. All right. Shading, image, reload. There we go. Didn't we do it for you? That way, it's all just one thingy-madiggy. There we go. Save. File, export, FBX. Hopefully an FBX will do what I need it to do. I'm going to put it into downloads. Selected object only. All right. I need to see if they're online. Hang on. Getting my password manager showing up on stream, not a great idea. Probably not gonna have any of this. All right, is he online? Are they online? Sorry, not he. They.
Hi, Multi. How are you? Multi, good morning. Multi, how
Alright,
was your
hang on.
vault? How was your vault? Multi-Pog, you have a gift for me? Oh my god, Grant. How are you? It's good to see you. Deal with the Templars? I thought I already dealt with them. Aren't they all dead?
Alrighty, hang on a second.
You have a
Pringles
gift for me,
can.
Grant? Well, now you've piqued my interest. Uh-oh.
All right, I forgot. I forgot. I probably should have rendered the Pringles can. I probably should have, like, you know, rendered the Pringles can before I told him, hey, I got a gift for you. Add a camera. Alt space bar. Nope. Okay, how do I get out of... Ah! No! How do I do this? How do I get out of here? I fucked up. I did like Alt spacebar or something. That didn't do it. Control spacebar. Nope. Shit. How do I fix this? Fuck. Yeah, save the Pringles can. Yes, but actually no. I just forgot to... Oh my god. What happened to... Okay, hang on. How do I fix this? I don't know what I did. Okay, thank goodness. All right, fixed it. All right. Camera, Control Alt 0. And then... All right, render image. I probably should have done it in Eevee instead. One moment. In Eevee, film, transparent, render image. All right.
Set active. So we have to go there. Oh my god. So far away. I need to find a camp. Sent? Wait, let me have a geese. 1 second. I'm looking at some DMs from GrantZeebs. You got me a can of Pringles. Oh my god. Oh
Yes.
sorry,
Oh,
did
what's
you
up?
Text
What's
it?
up?
Did you make this? That's really cute.
Yay.
Oh, thank you. That's really cute. Oh my god. Oh my god. I could use that in one of my assets. Can I use that in one of my assets? I'll credit you, of course. And I'll give you some money as well. I wouldn't want to... I feel bad if it was for free. Can I share with the rest of the class? I can. 1 second. 1 second. You texted. 1 second, chat. We're going to go to my just chatting screen really quickly. Really quickly while I do
No,
something.
we're not voring the
Really
Pringles.
quickly. And while we're on my just chatting screen...
Yay!
have some OERE. I need.
Oh, I have to deal with fucking Simlish.
That's better. And now we can go over here. Oh fuck.
The glory of being a streamer and just having like, you know, things not
I
working.
hope you can't read the names of some of these group chats. Anyways, back to my just chatting screen so that you can't read the names of those group chats. Anyway, I forgot about that. Forgot about the names. I forgot about the names. But yeah, that's that. That's that.
Names.
You ain't a professional. It's cute. I like it. I like it.
Yay,
We're gonna get over to...
All right, I'll leave them with their Pringles can. I will. So there's the yeah. That, not that one. The last one. Oh, the You can ask him about that. Also, hang on, just so people know. Ding ding. Din dun dun. Nom. No, do not nom the Pringles. Hopefully, I wrote that correctly. Did that work? Yes, it did. All right, so they are like they're a Borzoi. They're a Borzoi VTuber. They're really cool. They do like actual like sculpting, like 3D sculpting. They're a lot better at it. What did you give me? I need to pause this for a quick moment because I don't think you understand, John. Like, you might have meant something well by this, but I had been listening to so much Similian or whatever the Sims language is called that I even English I'm struggling with. All right. Okay. Let me get rid of these thingamadiggies. All right, we got our Pringles can. We will work on something else now. Mark as an asset. Sweet! That only took me an hour and a half to do. Alright, save. New. Actually, let's open. Okay, please don't be lewd. 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 Actually, I should... Actually, hang on.
Did you see it?
I'm gonna skip this song, John. Sorry, John, but just not suiting me. All right. Cool. Awesome. Because one of the things we are going to make is a top hat. It's going to be specifically for my zebra. What in the world is with the American flag? Arto USA. Dun, 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 dun. Turn off the Jedi robes. Turn off that. Alrighty. Mesh, snap, cursor to the selected. There we go. All right. wide should a top hat be? Top hat dimensions. Hang on a second. I don't... Okay, hang on. Minus steel. All right, so a black felt top. Okay, so top hat size. What is with this site? All right, probably not that. All right. Probably I want to try and do something like this where it got like the cool brim going off. I got to figure out how to do that. The brim extends from the center cylinder about a third of the hat's height. Alrighty. So, and it's about the width of the head. Lincoln's hat. Oh, cool. We get to have Abe Lincoln's hat from, like, when he got shot. Cool. Go back a step. Cap. I just want, like, a top down just to see, like, whether or not... Nope. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's a little... So, yeah, you make it like a... All right. So it's about yay wide. And would be like this. Yeah, I'll squish the sides later, or I'll, like, you know, purposely. I could just make it a chef's hat right now. Just leave it as that. Whee!
Sipping Time sponsored by Avalon Hoss.
There we go. Thank you for the sippies. Oh no, Avalon, you don't understand. This is going to be an adjustable size top hat. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be like, Doug Dimmadale from Dimdale Dimmadome. And then it's just going to be like this super impossible... Like, hang on a sec. Let me get you the image. Doug Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Doug Dim... Who is this man? Butler County Sheriff Office. Hang on a second. Butler County Sheriff. Oh. It would have been funny. Oh. How about you dim it don't? Actually, hang on a second. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Doug Dimmadale, Dimdale, Dimmadome. Give me a second. This is what I think it is.
I wish my father.
Doug Dimmadone is there. I need a remix. Dimmadome trap remix. Is this?
Timmy Turner, my name is.
Hang on, I need to do show primary. Move to the top. I'm sorry, Kiaru. After this song, we're going to this one next. That art, yeah, it's trippy AF. This will get us into the headspace of Doug Dimmadome as well. All right, here's what's gonna happen. So first and foremost. And then Timmy Turner, I'm Doug Dimmadale, Dimmadome. There we go. Alrighty, so Timmy Turner, I'm Dum Dimmadome, I'm Dimsdale Dimmadome. Okay, here's what I should have done. You broke the song request. You've got 3 in your queue already, so like if you look at the pinned message or you just type in so 1, 2, yeah, there's already 3 from you, Kiaru, so you're gonna have to wait your turn. Timmy Turner, I'm Dum Dimmadale of Dimsdale Dimmadome. Timmy Turner, I'm.
Don't
There we
make
go.
me send you to Jesus
Here we go.
myself.
Here we go. Why you skip Saturday? I didn't skip Saturday. I don't. Oh well, I put this all the way up the top. You'll still have Saturday popping up somewhere. Like I said, we're doing this. We're doing this to get the Dimmadome feels. Find this. That. Is broken for me. I now only have 2. It's just gone. You don't... Hang on. No, Moobot is still there. What are you trying to... Well, that was weird. Oh, it's already in the playlist. Somewhere else. Cool. Okay. All right, what's the portional editing? What's the... All right, what is the shortcut for proportion? Shift O. What the? Okay, do I have to turn that on and then... Oh, wait, no, I know exactly. Negative 15 degrees, portional editing only of the... .125. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Subsurface division. Making it a 1. Gotta add a door to the front of that hat? What do you mean a door? Alrighty then, here we go. Doug Dimmadome. You ready to see some crazy shit? Oh, that was fast. Dimmy Turner, my name is Dimmadome, Dogdale Dimmadome. Is this the origin of the meme? The cat breakdancing is a thing from fucking... There we go. There we go. Look at... Oh. Alrighty. Dimmy Turner, my name is Dimmadome, Dubdale Dimmadome. Look at him.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon, Blue. Hi, Blue. How was Aurora? How was Aurora? How was Aurora? I'm making a top hat. Don't question why. Like, you have been missing out on so much of chat right now, Blue. They have been like making me suffer with Sims songs. So imagine so many popular songs, but in Similian. It was painful. And I was able to make a Pringles can, and I was able to make, and right now I'm making a top hat. So, all right, cool. It does what I need it to do.
Hello.
Hello. Alrighty, so I need to now make my top hat do a thing. One action, 8 images, 12 materials. Sounds good to me. No! Not this again! Don't go simple and clean as the way that you made me feel tonight. I can't escape this song! Ah! How's Kingdom Hearts? Hang on a second. How's Kingdom Hearts going for you, Blue? Someone played this already. Yeah, me. Like a long time ago. And then there was like the what's-a-mahoozy, the Kingdom Hearts 3 opener. How's Kingdom Hearts going, Blue? You spent a lot of money. You did quite a bit, and you hung out with friends. Excellent. It's simple. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go simple and clean as the... Yeah, Sanctuary, I think that's what it's called. Tonight... Kingdom Hearts 1 has a lot of stupid stuff. You're the idiot for deciding to play it on the PlayStation 2. Not the remake they did for 1.5 where you can skip cutscenes, but the PlayStation 2. I'm glad that I can just like sit on the sidelines and be like, ha ha, ha ha. You need the authentic experience. Oh yes, I need that authentic 2001 experience of the PlayStation 2 Slim with the Mad Catz the Logitech PlayStation 2 controller on the 24-inch CRTV. Gotta agree with Granite. Thank you. I'm glad someone's on my side with this. It's simple. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby. Simple and clean as the way that you're making me feel tonight. This all to go. Ow. It's this regardless of the strings of future at all. Nothing. You walk away. You don't hear me say, please, oh baby. Don't go simple and clean as the way that you make me feel tonight. Let it go. Whatever the night this morning. Regardless of warning, the future has me share me at all. You don't know the lyrics, do you? No, I don't know the lyrics. I've played that game so much and I know nothing. I know nothing about the Kingdom Hearts songs. I went through the fucking rhythm game and I know nothing. I will convince Grant to play an older R. Nothing. Oh, Oh god, this is so great. I missed you, Blue. I missed you for the just the fun bullshit that goes off in chat once you get me riled up about things. Still waiting for me to play Pikmin 1 and 2? How in the world would I... Okay, here's what I have technology-wise, okay? We're gonna go full XQCE here. 4 27-inch monitors, desk pad, wireless mouse, 3 consoles, a Nintendo Switch, a PlayStation 5, a PlayStation 4 that's out in the living area, and a PlayStation webcam, iPhone cam, mic stand. Here we go. Himbos aren't smart. What? It's on the Switch now. It is? Don't. All right, what am I trying to make?
Let me show you how I get this needle felted 3D render. The key to getting the needle felt look is the shader's normal bump. So you can see it's got these very clear...
Okay, so that's where I need to put the thingamajiggies. All right. So... Whoa. Dun, 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 dun. Don't stop. Nah, not necessary. All right. So I got this felt. What am I missing with a top hat? I need okay, stitching.
Hey, what's poppin', guys? I'm going to learn how to model a bit, unwrap the cap and create that mode and face mode from here. I can select duplicates like this. No, and I think options like this here to show our edges are. I just custom hide this. And I just add number like resample no like 0. I'm going to add set position. No.
Clever. What's poppin'? All kinds of craziness as I'm trying to make a top hat, but not make it, you know, crazy high detailed or anything like that. So... All right, hopefully it keeps that brim. Not really. There we go. Oh my goodness. All right, that should be okay. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go into object mode. I'm gonna get rid of the Doug Dimmadome, go back into edit, so then that way I have, you know... Dimmadome. No proportional editing, and it's gonna go up by 3 meters. There we go. That way it keeps, like, the brim going. Alright, what's the camera that's... Oh. Timmy Turner on Doug Dimmadome, Doug Dimmadome. Timmy Turner on Doug Dimmadome, Doug Dimmadome. Should be pinned in my thingamadoogie blue. Dun, dun, dun. You're gonna consume an entire kilogram of cheese? What the hell, Blue? Where did you get the cheese? Weirdly enough, I'm okay with this top hat of... I'm okay with this. You're lactose intolerant. Why are you having cheese stock? Why are you getting a kilo of cheese? What is going on? Oh my, what? Blue, explain yourself. If you're lactose intolerant, why are you having like a kilogram of cheese sauce? Yeah. Ooh. Is a hurdle to be overcome. That is not how that works. Mesh, snap, cursor to selected. Oh my god, it's the Sims thingamadiggy again. Oh, I gotta deal with pain.
Glug, glub, glug, glub, glug.
Radio. Hang on a second. You just die. Thank you for the hydrate. Alrighty. We're on to something here. I could increase the influence of this thing. So it's at 0. And then... 10 frames in. I then make it 50. Dun, 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 dun. Ew. Can we get much higher? So high. Ah. Ah. I can smell the wealth. Excellent. We're not going to use cycles. We're just going to use Eevee. 1000 by 1000. 24 frames. Doug Dimmadome. Do I have a joy? No, I don't have a joy. Okay. Yoom. All right, here's what's going to happen. We're going to hold on to that for like half a second. Or we're going to hold on to that for like a second. And then... So let's see, that goes 80 to 10. So that's from 25 to... Let me just make it a divisible of 3. Oh, this again. All right, so 1 to 30. So adding a 20 goes it to 150. Another 30 seconds makes it 180. Dun, dun.
FurryCures1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alrighty, let's see how this looks. Just holds it there. There we go. And then it should come down smoothly. I might make it the hat go down faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Wait, hang on, Blue. What do you mean my first playthrough of Blender? The fuck you on about? What do you mean my first playthrough of Blender? Okay, hang on. So, look at your tags. Oh. Let me get rid of that. Fixed it. Did you just do squats while doing this? I did squats before like this thing was just on a running loop. Now I'm going to be adjusting things. All right, so first and foremost, the influence track does not need to there we go. Yeah, angels of God. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to move the empty faster than... All right, I need to move the camera fast. Let's see how this goes. There we go. The fan in your computer. Oh, is it? Are you talking about the one with the cooking oil in it? Are you talking about the one with the cooking oil in the fan to help it spin better? Is that the one you're talking about, Hendrix? All right. We're not going to do depth of field nonsense. I need to have a look at... Yep, cool. There's no audio. All right, I'm interested in what this song is gonna be. Doug Dimmadome. All right, let's see how quickly this thing renders. Fairly fast. You mean mineral? No, I don't mean mineral oil. Hendrix, you go tell you tell Blue. You think you're an element of chaos, Blue? You think you're the only element of chaos that has entered into my chat after reaching 1,000 followers? You are wrong. There are elements of chaos in here that you are not aware of. But yeah, as Hendrix... That is not chaos. The man put cooking oil in his PC, and it's making the PC perform just as fine. There is all kinds of heat going off in that PC, and yet the fan is still spinning, it ain't sticking, and there's been no other adverse effects that he has reported on his PC. Dun, 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 dun. 31 seconds to render all that. Alrighty. Did I give this to 2023-06? Oh. I put this on the D drive, not the C drive. Okay. It just goes on 10 seconds. That should be long enough. That should be long enough for my tweet. Oh, one of the things you may have missed, Blue, I made a Pringles can. I actually am enjoying the music, yes. Oh, so I need to go to the Pringles can again. Because I need to... Just gonna run a second instance of Blender to get the thingy-majiggy I want. No, I can see the link here. So like I can open it up again if I want. Like here. And then I can just go... There we go. Shader node of the world, and we get ourselves Urban Valley at half strength. Compositing node tree. Alrighty, let's see if I can get file append. Where would I go for the compositing node tree? How do I do it? All right, hang on. Blender import compositing Nodes. Alright. You can do this by making those nodes into a custom node group, then appending it to the file. To do this, select all... would not include, as they will be present in the new file. Then you go into the new file, file append. Okay. Nice!
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon.
Emotional damage. Emotional damage.
I need to change the name of this thing. There we go. Save. Now I can go back to this. File, import, or not import, append. My goodness, this music goes hard. What the hell, Furry Cures? You said this was from an anime, wasn't it? Where it was just based on the fact that people wanted to do music. All of your recommendations so far have been from this one anime, haven't they? Not all. Alrighty. This creeps into that like sort of side of like just, you know, once there's an autistic itch that hits, it is like nothing. You're just gonna info dump this shit. It's like Carol and Tuesday is amazing, and then just cram in like every song from Carol and Tuesday of like, isn't it great? Aren't you enjoying this? And it's like, yeah, I can get as much as I love like A Moment Apart, I will never like try and info dump an entire A Moment Apart to people. I will just give them the one Moment Apart song, which is A Moment Apart. And that's it. It's a great album, but here's another one from Carol and Tuesday. All right, node tree. Node group. Node group. There we go. Render image. Jesus Christ, that's a really high Himbo rating. What the hell? All right, I'm gonna need to add a light. One meter above. Way too strong.
Bonkers.
Bonkers. does not need to be that powerful. Boop. Boop. Actually, no, that's fine. Save as Pringle can render.
Don't make me send you to Jesus myself.
Was it cat? Oh, yeah. Nope. Where am I go? Oh, yeah, I need to do this. Refresh that, get to my... Because someone decided to do a video Someone decided to do a prediction. And I have, like, no idea of, like, you know, what I am doing. Not the offline. Give me the no landscape layout. There we go. Will I ever convince Grant to play an old R? No, you will not be the person responsible for convincing me. Ain't no one convincing me except me. And then all those zebra rolls. Wait, Zeebs, I sent you things. You sent me things, have you? You have sent me... Have you sent me a cease and desist?
Now that is what we call a skill issue.
Okay, I'm gonna download that.
Calm your rice paddy.
I already have this one.
Don't make me send you to Jesus myself.
Yep, and I have that one too. I wish I could. Here's the thing about cease and desists. After like
Emotional damage.
get ready. You haven't gotten hit with the... Here's the thing about my thoughts about cease and desist. Just after seeing like what the furry community, because I don't make my own art. I commission for the art I get. This 3D model was done by Wolk. A lot of my... Lower that volume. So, I commissioned my own. Actually, no. This music is. I'm just gonna run the calm music in the background while I spill the tea, or not spill the tea, but I just like provide my opinion or what have you. Like in the furry community, I have lost count of the number of times that I have seen people raise complaint about, from one artist to another artist about either their cues, their tracing, or just an artist deciding to just like blare it out on a foghorn because it's Twitter and just being like, stop copying my work and such. But then when all that is happening, or, after all that is happening, anytime you talk to a lot of them, the arguments of like tracing and inspiration is a little more nuanced than don't ever do it. It's always this like, that is a touchy subject. It is a touchy subject because it's a subject that it does not deserve to be oversimplified by 256 characters or however many characters the Twitter tweet is. I have seen artists do the whole stop tracing my work or don't trace work, you're just stealing art and such. And then you have the other side, which is, hey, don't feel like dissuade from like looking at my art as inspiration and such like that. And I think the difficult commentary that furry artists may not want to say loudly is how do I get this into enough of a soundbite? Tracing is not okay when there's money involved. If you're learning how the fuck to do things and you just decide to go with the Mickey Mouse hose pipe or or some accomplished artist style in an effort to find your own style that might be a mixture of those things and whatever manga influences you got. I don't think artists would smack people down on that one of like, no, they're learning and such. I think the issue arises once money gets involved, which is a very that's when shit gets messy. And I think that's sort of like the weird talk that doesn't get discussed about in the furry community, is that it is a creative content landscape. You've got people making fursuits, art, music, animations, 3D. You got all this kind of stuff. And when artists are having enough of people just sort of going to another artist for cheaper work that is derivative of theirs, it hurts. And corporations do this with, very little regard of people's feelings and such. But Nintendo, for instance, Sega, Disney, if they get a whiff of an artist making money and it's potentially of their IP or their style, they are not having it. They will send it cease and desist. They are ready to fight you. And, indies going against big corporations, it's very rarely ever success. But whenever an indie artist, because that's basically where a lot of furries are, is they're indie artists until they, become, I don't know, some mega corporation, but I have not heard of a furry that got up to that level. Furry artists that get popular in the furry community are just popular in the furry community. Any whoosies. That's probably an oversimplification, but indies aren't willing to actually throw down in the fight about tracing and art being taken. They will air the dirty laundry onto Twitter. They will have the complaints, and I think I've seen one person threaten if they see any more of it and such. But that's one time. One time in the dozens, if not hundreds of times I've seen on Twitter of artists just getting absolutely annoyed with trace work being done and being sold in their circles. It kind of bothers me that it's like this weird cold war where everyone's sort of saying, "Hey, look, tracing is okay if you want to learn shit," and then when someone starts doing tracing and they try and make money, it's a case of no, stop doing that. Stop doing that. It's not good. A few weeks later, stop doing that. Not good. A few weeks later, stop doing that. I'm serious now. Stop. A few days later, stop doing that. I have been in communication with this person, internally and such, and it doesn't go anything well. And they use the argument of mental health to support why they feel like they shouldn't be taking this criticism, and with no regard on my mental health or something or other. It's like tracing is horrible when you sell it as you're not doing art. So yeah, I think that's the short of it. Yeah, tracing. The minute money gets involved in art, there needs to be a much better disconnect between you as an artist growing, changing, learning, becoming better. Meanwhile, if you start making money, however, you now need to take it in as a business venture. You need to be harsh and you need to be decisive. Nintendo is decisive. Everyone gives shit about Nintendo for copyright infringement and claims on music that pops up on channels, creative content that isn't, with Nintendo in their creation and such. Everyone has given that kind of shit, but no one has ever had that commentary push them away from actually consuming the Nintendo content. And it's because they have done all this work. They've done all that messy shit. They've done all that business and legal jargon. So then that way, whenever they do release shit, everyone goes to them because of that pedigree. If Nintendo didn't do it, we wouldn't have that strong of a thought about Nintendo. Money is definitely the reason there are problems. Yeah, more money, more problems. It's a fickle thing. And I've seen it on Twitter just so many times now of artists saying, you know, and I think you sent me new files. This time it's Blue sending me a very quiet, stop talking about this.
I refuse to elaborate.
I like that one. I'll get the song requests up going.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
Weird.
What if we held hands as a treat?
Oh, that reminds me, Blue. There was this time where I was playing Minecraft, like I was playing RL Craft with my old housemate, Quaggles, and I did this as a bit of a joke because one of the mechanics you can get is a sleeping bag where you're able to like pass the day without it becoming a save point. So me and Quaggles would go on these long ass journeys in RL Craft, and we didn't want to deal with traversing in the night. So we'd always like get in our sleeping bags and we'd be in Discord and being like, get in your sleeping bag, Grant, get in your sleeping bag. Here's something that I decided to do whenever they asked me to get in a sleeping bag and they went into their sleeping bag. I started putting my sleeping bag right next to them. Even if I was like, you know, on the other side of a hill or behind a tree or something like that, I would still go over, find out where they are, and put my sleeping bag right next to theirs. They caught on at like the third time because I was wasting time trying to find them, and they're like, "Get in a sleeping bag," and here I am just like putting a sleeping bag next to them. They caught on to what was going on. They were like, "Stop putting your sleeping bag next to mine." It was so silly. Sorry, that's what your you know, holding hands video reminded me of, is those times in Minecraft when I pissed off my housemate because I kept putting a sleeping bag. I kept putting my Minecraft bed next to his to pass the day. And I think once or twice he's actually hopped out of his bed before the night cycle finishes, so then that way he can try and move away from when I went into my sleeping bag. Oh, it's so silly. What was the message I missed? It's similar, not the exact same with AI art. You don't sell AI art unless you're a scumbag, as you did not do the work. Yeah, no, exactly. Like AI art is very much just indies very much hate it. There's very little argument about it, and it's one of those cases where AI is a calculator. It's a tool. It is best used by creators that know what they're doing. When it comes from a case from, like, I don't know if they ever got flack for this, but Epochs, a very popular streamer that talks about streaming tips and tricks and such, they tried selling on Gumroad or something like that, and they did a YouTube video about this on how to improve your AI prompts and such to get some amazing backgrounds and shit. That's not okay. You're just if you want to have people explain a piece of art, make a video about, oh, here's how you communicate with artists and shit. Don't take the artist, indie or corporate or whatever, out from the equation of getting art. Because communication, leadership, all those things are key skills you need to learn and practice. There's nothing wrong on being able to, you know, how to speak and how to stipulate what you want in your art better. There's nothing wrong with that. There is something really wrong when it is put under the scope of, here's how you talk to a robot so the robot gives you the art. Not okay. All right, that's enough of me going on like my little rant about, you know, artists tracing and AI and such. Moral of the story: start being harsh. Is tracing a bad thing? Yes, when there's money involved. Long answer will take probably a lot longer, and if I was to ever do a video about, you know, art tracing and what, you know, commissioners and artists think of it and such like that, I would not get it done in time. Because, yeah, each artist has a different thought about the learning process. Guitar now? Yes. Hendrix put in Final Fantasy VII, let the battles begin. But, you know, oh, yeah, Hendrix. I didn't want this playing when I was trying to, like, have my, just airing out my like thoughts about when I see people like artists on Twitter complaining about art tracing and such, and just how it has been such a regular, you know, airing this laundry kind of thing, and then nothing really happening business wise because of the tracing and shit. Sorry, I just need to do all these renders. So yeah. Oh, is this the door? Hang on. Copy text. Paste and go. This fucking, like, is he steampunk or is he diesel punk?
Oh, there you are, Cedric. Sup, dude? Tis well, Cedric, tis well.
Yeah, can I ask you a question, man?
Hashtag steampunk.
Why the hell are you dressed like this? And what the hell did you do to your bike?
You ain't heard? I'm steampunk now.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man.
Steampunk is cool if there's steam involved. There's no steam, there's no diesel. I would say this is clockwork. Clockpunk. It's not the same. Alrighty, so that's that image saved. Alrighty, save. Close that one, because we're working on this one. Is there any way to ungroup? There we go. Save. Alrighty. Where's my Twitter? There it is. This is Paranoid DJ by Use Me Up VIP. I need to get his quote. Hang on. Ow. This is important work. Doug Dimmadome owns there the Dimmadome quote. I'm an adult. My name is Doug Dimmadome, owner of Dimsdale Dimmadome. Is there a better one? I'm Doug Dimmadome, owner and president. What can I do for you while I wait for my security to show up and throw you out? By getting the heck out of my office, that kid is nothing but trouble. That's right. Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. The Dimsdale Dimmadome. Yoom. Boom! Thank you for the Hyper Himbo Fizz, but god damn it, Hendrix, why do you have to go steal my shirt while I'm on Twitter? Alright, I will schedule that for later. June 29th at 7 a.m. Schedule that. Close this. There we go. Why you gotta laugh at me? Why you gotta keck W me, Hendrix? Alright, also I can close the sprinkles can thingamadiggy and go back to here. But yeah. Now, ding. Now comes the difficult part. All right, let's see how this goes. So we go from 336 vertices to cannot be applied to a mesh with shape keys. Seriously? Darn. 1,003. What? I thought I got rid of like all those I thought I, did a proper thingy-majiggy of blocking those kinds of nonsense, Kiaru. Not cool. Is he here? What they sent was Hatsume Miku actually screaming for 5 minutes. That's what they sent.
Icy is cute, Uwu.
Okay, this one I'm fine with. I actually know this song. I need to show you something. This particular song here, I saw this years ago. Video. Blame it on the anime, 2001. Hopefully it's this one. I know you want pop, you want. Yes, it is. This year's remix. Actually, I'll drop this into the what's a Mahuzi thingamadiggy. Actually, I can probably just let's see, how far are we? Actually, I would not be able to sync this up. Actually, maybe I can. No, I cannot. Unless, hang on, if I press stop, and then, here we go. Damn it. Pop, I got rockin' electronic. Okay, I actually have it relatively synced up, so if you're watching this right now, you're able to enjoy it. Actually, no, then terrible idea. Terrible idea. I'll just drop the link in Discord. I will not be fucking around with, getting people to deal with a 4.5 minute long song. Clips and videos. Hopefully this is the one. Yep. Baldur's Gate. I have Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 already on good old Games Galaxy. I am streets ahead of you. I am streets ahead. Alrighty. Well, it's a good thing I did this render before then. So, because what I can do now is set my shape key for the basic, and then Dimmadome. And then go to Edit. Select More. There we go. All right. No portional editing, going up by 3 meters.
Sipping Time sponsored by Hendrix.
Woohoo! All right, sipping time. Also, where's Kiaru? Play them on Steam then? Lock the... No. I'm still mad with you that you decided to throw Hatsume Miku screaming for 5 minutes. I had a series of things blacklisted, so hopefully like shit like that wasn't gonna go in easily, but clearly I did not do the blacklisting, you know, well enough. Hang on, special features, filters, so yeah, so annoying, ear rape, loud, all the different, like, you know, swear words that you can probably come up with, and troll.
I've yet to meet one that can outsmart a bullet.
So, hire me? I'm not hiring you. Not happening. There's so many more people I can go for. Alrighty. Save that, and... You know what? I'm going to export this. We're going to see how this functions in Unity. Selected object. There shouldn't be any thingamadiggies on it, like animation-wise or anything, so... Actually, what I probably need to do, however, is... not Atlas. UV, Smart UV Project... Get all that done. We do a new image, and we're gonna call it Top Hat. I think I did normals. Yeah, so Top Hat.nrm. And then I need to swap this over to cycles. And we're baking the normal upon the image. So hopefully, all right, hang on. Image texture. Top hat.normal. Save. Image. All right, let's see how this goes. Because I can't just throw this noise texture, and because Unity won't like that. Yeah. Unity does not like doing like node-based thingy-madiggies. All right, let's see how the bake goes in trying to do a normal. Yeah, does an all right job. Save. Textures, top hat.normal, sounds good. That way, and yeah, I just have like this albedo color here, which can easily be done as a thingamadiggy. Alrighty. Also, why do I have... Oh, god damn it! I didn't think that was the... God damn it, I didn't think that was part of Blender. I'm an idiot. Is the top hat still there? Is my top hat image... Yes! Okay, cool. Now, if I change this from single image, none color. Okay, hang on a sec. So I need to go to here, unlink, and then tophat.png. There we go. Image save. Yeah, I think that should be okay. And then vector based off of UV. Is there a way for me to reload? Image, reload. So yeah, because the noises are there, thankfully. You can see, like, just the little thingamadiggies. But it looks like it's not there anymore.
Zeebs is a cutie.
I deny such allegations. Oh, that's why, because it needs to be none color. There we go. And then if I make it 1, then there we go. That should do it. Is it noon there? Oh, no, it's 9 p.m. though. It's 9:07. I need to actually, like, finish up for tonight. Smuggling hams in that shirt? No. I'm not smuggling any hams. These are mine. Boom, boom, boom. Blue has not seen these fucking pecs in a long while, have they? Alrighty then. I am going to end the stream there. I will be online. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yes. What did I have planned for Thursday? Give me a second. I think I had something. Did I, like, do any proper plans Thursday? Yes. Thursday is Street Fighter. Actually, you know what? I can show you the image. Thursday is Cookie for Hendrix. Thursday is going to be Street Fighter 6. Friday is going to be Final Fantasy 14, you know, the MMO. And then Saturday, chat, we got the party game stream and also celebrating 2 years on Twitch as an affiliate. We were able to get up to get up to 1,000 followers as well last week, which I really appreciate. I did not think I was going to get to that particular count in the 2-year mark, to be real with you. I didn't think I would get there, like, at all. I thought I would be tired of this thing. Does that mean 24-hour stream? No, it doesn't mean a 24-hour stream, unfortunately. I will probably think of a better time to do a 24-hour stream, and I would probably do a channel points, like, goal. Seeing if you guys will, well, I'll probably do like a channel points goal. So to see like if there is enough people interested in doing it. So, cause you know, 1,000 people is really awesome, is really cool and such. But as you've probably seen in me going through a month of like streaming every day, I am not very creative. I'm not inventive in the stream, like, thingamadoogies. I feel like if I was to try and do a 24-hour stream, I would need as much help as I could get to keep me awake and keep me entertaining. Is there a way for me to stop song requests from coming in? Settings. Is there a command I can use? Commands, custom commands, nope, built-in commands. Hopefully there's one for song requests. No, there isn't. Okay, I'll look into that another time. Anyway, but yeah, so I would want to try and, like, you know, touch upon any other, like, streamers for, like, assistance in 24-hour stream of, like, hey, looking to do this for 24 hours. Can I hopefully, like, you know, be able to, like, sort of have you crash with me and help me out in doing something like, I'm actually, yeah, no, that's a good pop. It's a good pop. But yeah, Saturday night, it's going to be a party game stream. Which party game? It is going to be, hopefully I did this. It's going to be, where is it? It's going to be Mario Kart. July 1st, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Times, or, you know, 8 a.m. if you're Greenwich Mean Time, or 4 a.m. if you're in the United States. I'm sorry, you're not going to catch... I'm sorry about that, but yeah. July 1st, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think I sent a number of different people, like, personal, like, you know, invites of, like, hey, you're gonna be streaming. You're gonna be available for this time? Give me a second. I need to double check someone. Yes, I sent blue invites. 4 a.m. here too. Yeah, so that's gonna be our Saturday night. If there's any Australians in here that want to go into Mario Kart 8, definitely, like, I will definitely join up and such. I will have the Nintendo friend request thingy-majiggy probably posted Friday, so then that way, you know, that way you can get, or, you know, Saturday afternoon or something like that, so then that way you have a chance to send me a friend invite and such. You have to drive past the Zeebs. Yeah, because otherwise I'm just going to start throwing red and green shells at you like I do. Like the last time you were in a Mario Kart... Oh. The last time you were in like a Mario Kart race, you were with Kusaki, I think. I tried to like sneakily join in the middle of one of my streams, and I just wanted to like jump... I just wanted to start pelting shells at you. I didn't care if I won. I just wanted to poke shells at you. Any whoosies. But yeah, so Saturday night, July 1st, Mario Kart 8. Invites have been sent to some of the other peeps, so then that way it's not just me waiting on chat, but any members of chat are welcome to join if you have a Nintendo Switch and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I hope to see some of you guys there. Tomorrow night, we are going to be going through Street Fighter 6. We're going to be going through more of World Tour. I'm sorry, Hendrix, or whoever has been going through, like, the fighting games with me. I have not learned the Korean backdash, the footsies, or any of those other, like, thingy-madiggies, I'm sorry to say. So you're going to have to make do with me being absolutely terrible. All right, let's have a look at rating someone. Let's see. Kusaki is back, but he's doing okay. Kazi the Wolf is playing 16. Inverted Bolt is playing Final Fantasy 16. Gerald is playing Final Fantasy 14. Dazzy is live. Yeah, Dazzy's live. Let's go. I gotta find more Australians is the thing. Oh, wait, hang on. What's Spotty doing? Spotty is an Australian. I remember seeing their clip on What's-A-Mahoozy in Furdu. I think, is there any of the other Australian furries that I followed? Sorry, I'm kind of being like aiming towards more Australian furs, so then that way, like, A, like, sharing the love there, and B, I'm not getting shouted out to a whole ton of Americans that are like, oh my god, How am I ever going to... Darkened Tiger is live and is Australian. Ding. Dunk, dunk. Paste. Ooh, hang on. Sorry. Race Solar. They're a cool looking Rothgar. Hang on a sec. They're doing art. They're doing like Barras. Hang on a sec. What did Cosmic say about your titties? Not something I want to say right now. All right. I know who we're gonna raid. Ding dong, habam. We're gonna go for Race Solar, and we're gonna
Emotional damage.
Bonk. I have not updated your sound clips. I'm sorry, Blue. We're gonna go with the classic raid message. If it's going to do my raid message. What the hell? Raid message. GrantZeebs. Himbo raid. Show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. I will see you all next time. I will be online tomorrow night. Saturday night is Mario Kart 8. Hopefully I'll see some of yous in any of those times. Bye for now.